Hey, black belt collector, back with another figure. So it is number 4, Wonder Woman in the Cyborg wave from Flashpoint. So we've done Aquaman, Superman, and now we're doing Wonder Woman. Yeah, skipped Flash. Why? Well, the Flash figure was basically impossible to find. I could never find it. I mentioned before I got Aquaman, Superman, Wonder Woman all at deep discount. They all went on clearance at Target, which is the whole reason I even picked up the figures in the first place. But not only did the Flash not go on clearance, you could never find him. And I think a lot of people had the same issue. So, all that to say, I did end up just buying Flash loose. I think he came with the legs, maybe, if I remember correctly. So, he was going for ridiculous prices, like $100. It's just stupid because he was really hard to find. So, I bought him loose to save a little money. Still didn't get a great deal. He was bundled in with a few other figures, so it kind of softened the blow. But wanted the legs for Cyborg, of course, and actually really wanted this figure for this unmasked head. I really liked it. So never pay over cover for a figure. It's really stupid. I should practice what I preach. I've only done it a few times. This is just one of those occasions where I got frustrated. I was never able to find this guy. So anyway, all that being said, let's jump into Wonder Woman. So I do really like the way this figure looks, and I'm really excited to build Cyborg finally. Yes, they are coming out with another Cyborg, and he's actually quite cheap. So in hindsight, I probably would have just waited and not gotten any of these and just bought the single release Cyborg. But it is what it is. I saw them on clearance and couldn't resist. So anyway, gold label Wonder Woman. There's the whole wave. Check out the other videos if you want. Let's get this figure out of the packaging. All right, so got everything out of the packaging. I really like the card that it comes with. But the first thing I noticed when I took it out is the sword. The sword is definitely inspired by this. It even has the little ridges along the finger guard. It doesn't have this painted gold piece right in the middle that would have been a nice touch. I realize I'm probably being pretty picky with the card and a sleeve just because I do collect them. I think they're cool. You guys know I like to collect cards anyway. So the card was a little beat up in there, but all right, it is what it is. Looks like it got caught on the sleeve. Yeah. Anyway, so you got that if you want it. And then, of course, we've got the head for Cyborg, which we'll put him together later. But as far as the figure, all right, so this is pretty typical for Mcfarlane. Pretty much par for the course. You get this thing, which I always say if I don't need it, I won't use it, of course, but if I need it, I'll have to use it. Yeah, you're going to need it for her because the ankles, it is, that's it. It does spin and rotate a little bit, but you could tell instead of putting the articulation on the boot, they put it underneath there. So these tiny feet with the heel, yeah, she's not going to stand. It's going to be hard to get her to stand. She's going to fall off your shelf. So, not a fan of that. I mean, surely there's a better way to do this. And I realize this is a little bit of an older figure. Maybe he's done it differently. I actually have the collector's edition Wonder Woman. I just haven't opened her up yet. But yeah, she is not going to stand up, not without some sort of stand. But that being said, the sculpting, the look is awesome. Well, usually Mcfarlane excels at the way the figure looks on your shelf. Just always a little bit of weird stuff going on. So you won't really be able to do much of this because she's got these very hard they do not move. These little skirt pieces right here. The belt looks like it doesn't move, but it looks cool. I love the eagle Wonder Woman. And then, of course, the head sculpt. It looks great. The hair. So, of course, you're not going to be able to look up at all. Not even a little bit. But you can look down a little bit, get a little tilt, and you won't be able to turn the head because of the hair. So, it's tough, you know? How do you do hair? I don't know. We're all still trying to figure that out, I guess. This is nice little plastic gold that connects. These are connected here and here, so you can't remove that at all. It's not a cloth cape. It's one of the sort of soft plastic capes, which if it's not going to be a cloth cape, then this is about as good as it gets. It's very, very easy to maneuver, and it's not as heavy. So you got some nice pieces on the elbow, which will kind of hide the pins in the elbow. Yeah. So this is an awesome Wonder Woman figure. Let's see if we can get this to her hand. To her right hand, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much what you get. This is going to look great on the shelf. But again, you probably need at least this. Even this can be hard to get them to stand on sometimes. You know, she would do well with a flight stand of some sort. So you got, of course, Flash, like I've shown before. And the Aquaman. I was messing around with him a little bit, so he's actually not posed to stand yet. I posted some pictures of this guy just because that face sculpt is so hilarious to me. And then, of course, you've got the Superman. Kind of have him posed like that, like they just found him in his little cell. So, you know, there's not a whole lot more for me to say about the line. I do kind of wish I would have just held off on the line and just picked up the single Cyborg. But I am a huge fan of Flashpoint. And if you guys haven't read, of course, if you haven't read Flashpoint, highly recommend it. But there's also a newer series, I think from last year, Flashpoint Beyond. And it is kind of Jeff Johns returning to Flashpoint. And there's a scene with Wonder Woman and Aquaman, which I loved. Um, you'll know if you've read it. So, yeah, I mean, the wave is cool, but I already have an Aquaman. Got the collector's edition Wonder Woman that I need to open, so don't really need these guys. Really, I just wanted Flash and I wanted this version of Superman because this is like truly a unique version of Superman. One of the only times we've seen him like that. So really like that. And then of course I really liked this one. The one I couldn't find was the one I wanted the most. And then of course we've got Cyborg. So in the next video I'll put together Cyborg and I'll open up another figure that I have relating to Flashpoint. You could probably guess who that is, but maybe stay tuned, check it out, and we'll see you on the next one.